Ken, we've got a whole new line of Massey tractors here today.
I see that, a big sea of red.
Yeah, and we're going to focus specifically on this 25 horsepower version, but we'll talk a little bit about the whole line and kind of Massey's vision, at least as they communicated it to us.
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Yep, I definitely need a red intro graphic. Anyway, hit the like button.
This is a 1M25, Ken.
Okay.
24 horsepower, just slightly larger than a subcompact tractor.
Okay, all right.
Massey's had a similar tractor to this in the lineup before, but never with a cab.
Right, okay.
And this one's got a full air-conditioned cab.
Yeah.
It's isolated. You can tell the way the hood's made here. It's a sound-isolated cab.
Should be pretty quiet inside.
Yeah, and so this is essentially their first premium tractor, we could say, in the sub-25 horse size range. It's pretty small overall, right?
So yeah, it is. When you sit in the cab, it feels wide though. It feels like a larger machine than it is when you're sitting inside.
Yeah, the cab is incredibly spacious. Yeah. Both Ken and I can be comfortable. We'll talk about that in a minute. But my long legs work. Yeah. Ken's short legs work. So that's good for that. This tractor compares with the prior 1526. Okay, now, when I say compares, again, they didn't have a cab. But when we're looking at capacities and everything, we can compare to that 1526. The 3-point hitch has significantly more lift capacity.
Okay.
And in a really unique feature, there's a dealer installed upgrade to give it even more capacity.
Oh, wow, really?
Now, I'm going to assume that attaches right here somehow.
Okay.
There's a hole
I see
here.
there's an extra hole there.
Maybe an extra cylinder that somehow attaches there. I'm not exactly sure how it does, but if you have a really heavy attachment, for this class of tractor, you can get a dealer installed upgrade.
That's pretty neat.
I know of no other
that's neat. Well,
small compact tractor that offers something like that.
Definitely not. One thing I noticed here was the fabricated bracket for the top link that's replaceable, so it's not cast like a lot of the other manufacturers. So
I really like that because that, post hole diggers and some other certain things can really put a lot of strain on that and can break that, which is a casting.
On the cast part,
In this way, it's a fabricated piece. Number one, it's probably a little stronger than the casting.
It's probably stronger, and if it bends, you can take it off and fix it, or,
get another
a guy with a hobby welder could fix it.
It doesn't tear up your whole rear end.
Exactly.
Comes standard with one set of rear hydraulic remote, and another one is optional.
Rear toolbox, I see.
Pretty hefty drawbar is one thing I noticed for this size tractor.
Yes, for sure.
So I'm pretty excited about the capabilities in that sense. The front end loader also has a little more lift capacity than the prior 1526. Ken, before we go any further, we just found out that we can buy this machine for $29,000. Loader, cab, AC, everything.
That's a good deal. That's a very good deal.
Rear hydraulics,
suspension seat.
This is a very good deal. So let's go into that a little bit. This particular model, it has a suspension seat. It's not an air seat. Now, the rest of their premium line, starting at 35 horsepower on up, which we're not going to go into in much detail, but they all have an air seat. It may even be standard. Everyone here has the air seat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's a Grammer air seat and everything. But this suspension seat has a lot of movement.
It felt really nice when I sat in it.
It feels really good, and the seat itself is really good. 3-range transmission here.
A, B, and C, or rabbit, snail, and turtle.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of snail being the middle speed?
That's the new thing.
Twin touch pedals, or I don't know, maybe that's a proprietary term, but one pedal for forward, one pedal for backwards.
Right.
And they feel very comfortable for me. Some tractors are not located quite right, and this one is fine on that. Position control, again, the hydraulic system here. AC, Ken and I both felt that this might be a little low here. I don't know, probably all the AC system is in here. But this tractor will fit in a 7-foot door.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge for a cab machine, with air conditioning, that's huge.
Got a tilt wheel. It really has all the creature comforts that we could ask for. It's got USB-A and USB-C. I can't imagine that we would need any more creature comforts. I don't have the decibel rating on the cab yet, but they're supposed to provide that information. If I get that, I'll leave that in a pinned comment below.
Yeah, it looks like they're pre-set up for a radio. There's an antenna here on the side already and speakers.
Yeah.
I see recirc buttons on the back, so you can recirculate the air for the HVAC versus, or draw in fresh air from outside, should you choose to.
I really am shocked at how much space there is in this cab.
Yeah, it's definitely roomy.
Here's a closer look at the right-hand console. You can see the position control lever. There's also one hydraulic outlet, as we described, and you can see the spot for the second hydraulic outlet. So it's all built in there and would be integrated. It's rated at 5.5 gallons per minute of hydraulic flow to the remotes. The diff lock pedal down at the lower left of the operator platform there is quite large, easy to access. There's a lot of travel in the suspension seats you can see there, and it was really comfortable. The throttle lever is orange there, attached to the tilt wheel. When tilted down, I found the steering to be very comfortable. The joystick's just a bit too far forward for me.
One last thing here on the 1M25. It's got a 1.49 liter engine. Pretty large displacement.
Three-cylinder?
Yeah.
Three-cylinder
Yeah,
diesel,
for this size tractor, that's pretty large displacement.
Sure.
It's not on the Massey website yet. I had a little trouble finding some specs, but a shout out to Varenberg Implement in Missouri. They had this listed online. 20.1 PTO horsepower is at the high end of expectations. Pretty efficient transmission. 1,500-pound 3-point hitch lift and 16-mile-per-hour travel speed. Oh, and check out that selling price.
Now, as we said, there's a whole line of tractors from Massey. A lot of them don't have near as many changes as this one, for example. So the 1800M series has been replaced with the 1M35 and 1M40.
Right. New
The
number
2800 series has been replaced with the 2M.
Okay.
I believe it's a 50 and a 60 horsepower
Gotcha.
tractor. And the E line has been replaced as well. There's a 1E, I believe, and a 2E with some different horsepowers. I like to focus on the premium tractors. That's just more interesting to me, right?
Absolutely.
The premium tractors on the larger ones, again, have air seat. They're pretty luxurious from what I've seen.
Okay.
But I don't think we'll go into too much detail because there's really not a whole lot of change from the 1800, 2800.
Right.
The GC has also been renamed. So the subcompact tractor is now the 1GC 25.
1GC, okay. So they still kept the GC name.
Other than that, I think that pretty much covers it. I think this is a good value tractor.
Yeah, for $29,000 with a strong loader and a super strong 3-point hitch and air conditioning with a 7-foot height. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good value.
Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you got any more questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to work with my contacts here at Massey to find any answers if you ask something we don't know.
Yep, it's a new model, so they got a few more specs they couldn't give us, so.
Yep. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
Esau said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished." Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright." Okay. Christy will be back next episode to choose the Bible verses. Meanwhile, here's some random photos of other things I found interesting at the show.